Wolcen Lords of Mayhem is an isometric ARPG hack-and-slash game fully released in 2020 after being funded on Kickstarter. Wolcen places a big focus on storytelling, featuring tons of fully voice-acted cutscenes throughout the game. There's a complete customization system where you can customize your appearance and dye different components of your gear. Plus, as expected, there's a typical massive ARPG skill tree with lots of customization options, leading to a huge amount of variety between various builds. Wolcen doesn't use the usual class system of mage, warrior, rogue, and so on. You can wield any weapon and build your character however you want, once again leading towards complete player freedom. One unique combat feature is the aspect system. This allows the player character to temporarily transform into an apocalyptic form, of which there are 4 to pick from. This temporarily makes the player character completely immune to damage, while at the same time dishing out quite a bit himself. Now in this video we'll dive into Wolcen, exploring its core mechanics, testing the combat, and seeing how well it holds up compared to other games. We'll look at the pros and cons to help you decide if this action ARPG is a hidden gem or just another title that falls short. So let's jump right in. Okay, and now we're in the game. Pretty cool background going on here, like a big war or right after a battle. Straight off the bat, I can see that we have an offline mode and an online mode. This time I'm gonna go for the offline mode just so I could test out the game. So let's just go ahead and create our character. Offline mode. Okay, yeah, so as I expected, online mode and offline mode will have separate characters. So that's a thing, just to keep in mind. Male or female. Characters look pretty nice, not too groundbreaking, but pretty good. I'm gonna go with this guy. Simple character create screen. Let's just see what I like. And this guy looks pretty scary. I wouldn't want to meet him in an alley. Yeah, I think we can go with this. Demon eye. Oh, you can customize both eyes separately, so you can either go for like 2 different colors. I know it's called something, but I don't remember what. But I really prefer having green eyes. I think I'm gonna go for green eyes. And actually, to be fair, yeah, screw it. Let's go with one eye that looks pretty creepy, maybe. Nah, let's go 1 green, one red. I think I usually go for this when I'm creating one of these kind of characters. Okay, for the hair, there's not too many options. That's something I'm immediately seeing. There's not too many different options to really choose from, but this is a top-down game, so it won't really matter too much. Yeah, let's go with white. Let's make a Witcher. Yeah, let's go with that. Not too much to really choose from. Okay, melee, ranged, or mage. Typically, I always feel like I want to test out the male combat, but in these kind of games, I'm 99% a mage, so let's go for that. Oh, and it actually switches how you look right here. Okay, so that basically looks like an agile kind of guy. Look at that chunky sword. That is huge. But the armor's already something I really like. This looks really, really good. What name should I go for? Let's go in. Alright, I see we're starting off with a little cutscene here.
If you cannot defeat me, how do you plan to defeat the supernatural forces that feed and prey on mankind?
The voice acting is insanely good.
Family.
Okay, and now we're in the game. Why am I a soldier? Okay, maybe this is gonna switch out a little bit later. Because I remember picking a mage, unless it messed something up. No, strange that there wasn't any climbing animation. Okay, interact with enemies and attack damage, left click.
Sacrifice. Republican puppies try to flank us.
Look. I'm not sure if I... Okay, let me just try this again. Okay, so there's a little bit of input lag. I click to dodge, And there's a little bit of input lag. It's not as snappy as I would expect it to be. And keep in mind, I'm playing it in offline mode, so there shouldn't be any, like, ping or whatever going on to slow me down. Okay, yeah, so as I was mentioning before, the combat seems a little bit slow to respond. Clicking around, everything seems to be working fine, but if I'm trying to dodge, for example, it's not instant, which is odd. That's what I'm already noticing. Another thing is that when I click to attack, it's also a little bit slower, which is a bit odd, and I'm not sure if this is a part of the game that's intentional, or I'm just too used to playing games like Lost Ark where everything is super quick to respond. So I'll have to look around and see what happens, I guess. There's ghosts here now. Overall, the game looks pretty nice. Like, the graphically, it's really, really good. Not the greatest, but it's still very, very doable. I'm enjoying the voice acting, as I mentioned before, and the cutscenes are so far superb. The story seems to be fairly good, at least right here in the beginning. Let's hope it keeps up. There's a lot of voice acting, at least from what I'm noticing. I'm gonna guess this game is gonna be very story rich and story heavy, I guess.
Alone! 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 I'm not alone! I'm not alone!
Okay, I'm not sure what was going on here. Oh, look at this. I guess like a mini boss going on. Story boss, first one for the game. Okay, I'm getting hit quite a lot. Doesn't look possible to kill him anyhow, as I was mentioning.
I can't. He's too strong.
And now I just transformed into a god. Oh, that was good.
Different.
Health and potions, you're low on health.
Witchcraft now.
Oh, so as I... Okay, so Q is to heal, and charge 25 of hits, basically 2 each. And as I kill mobs, I'm gonna get more potions. Skills. Right click to use basic skills, so fireball. Let's check out the inventory. Reselling. So right off the bat, we have a fairly standard inventory system with a whole bunch of different attributes going on, which we can apparently reset by spending some in-game gold. Skills, we basically have the basic and the general fireball because we haven't done anything yet. Utility, okay, everything seems fairly standard for these sort of games. Here I have my fragile novice staff, so I lost all my good gear. Similar inventory system to what you would see in Path of Exile. But yeah, that's about all I can say for similarities at the moment. Let's keep going and see how things change. Oh, cool. These basic attacks actually go from one enemy to the other. I wonder if that's a staff effect. I didn't read too much, as these are just basic tools that was given. Is it just me? Like, to be very clear, is it just me? But is my guy's voice actor, like the voice itself, does not really match my face. Like, the voice sounds like it's from a fairly young, I guess, mid-25 something, right, guy. And my character is with a white beard, white hair, looks like he's 50 or something with a lot of experience. I would kind of expect his voice to be a little bit deeper than that. Or just in general, wiser or something. Wiser sounding. But yeah, nice to have my little minion here fighting things, so I don't have to.
A winged sprayer. They do come in every shape.
Oh, hello. Knock swing.
Dial the same.
Kind of expected it to be a bit stronger than that. So I'm guessing this Stormfall is going to be like one of the main city hub area things, where I can buy loot, store some stuff that I've gathered. Okay, leveling up. By killing monsters of Wolcen, you have grown in power and gained a level. You can assign up to 4 points in the 4 different attributes. Each attribute affects different aspects of your character. There we go, that's level 2. Gate of Fates. Ah, I see. So once again, I'm just going to compare it to Path of Exile. Very similar layout of a pretty huge tree of various skills. To be fair, it's not even that huge, but there's a lot of variety going on. Like I can see that you have immediately minimum 3 different paths going on. Soldier, Scholar, and then we have Sentinel. Ah, okay. So I'm gonna guess this is gonna be like the starting points for the Ranger, Fighter, and the Wizards. The Wizard's gonna be the purple one. Let's see what starting is. Force Shield, so okay, and then gonna be damage. Yeah, damage. Can we be like a Necromancer or something? If I googled something, I think I can find some very, very powerful builds quite easily. And then let's go off to skills. Let's just go for Wisdom. It reminds me of Harry Potter. Let's check out the map. The Coast of Rex. So we are in the Stormfall, basically the city, main hub area of this place. And then you have these various points of interest, so basically new areas to explore. Okay, so I see there's quite a few going on. I don't see any different chapters, so I'm gonna guess that these are like key areas with gate openings going on, but I might be wrong. And if you click tab, you have a mini map that pops up, an overlay, which you can still use and kind of find where you're going even if you're lost. It's funny because I typically get lost not in the main dungeons, but in the cities. Well, these are jewels, but I suppose these would basically be something that you add into your armor, like enchantments, for additional effects. Okay. Interacts and skills. You are about to receive an Interact, an ancient magical device. Interact. Why Interact? Spell summon. Summon a melee play. Oh, hello. So you can immediately have something that's being summoned, or you can go for Winter's Grass, which casts Nova deal damage. Honestly, I think I'm gonna go for the summon, just so I could have a meat shield. Okay, and this summons 3 Plaguelings, not 1. Even better. Good, and now we have some minions. Oh, that's nice. Look, I get closer and these guys just kind of block my way. And we have found a waypoint. Excellent. I knew I shouldn't have used all of my exploding barrels, but didn't seem that hard to be fair. Just spam my fireball and she's down. Okay, so there's gonna be a special enemy. I can see there's a skull on him. Oh, it's a bug. Just spam my fireball and we're good to go. Why does every single game of the genre have to have spiders? Another level up. I seem to be getting levels very quickly. Oh, there he is. And there he's not. So far, the fights here are not that difficult. And at this point after finishing filming, I noticed that my mic audio completely failed to record. That's because I'm a genius who tapped the mute button and forgot to undo it. So for the remainder of the video, I'll try to mention anything interesting that happened across my playthrough. After getting my new laser ability, I continued to slaughter my way through all the mobs, got a few rare items, and realized you're not limited to using only class-specific gear like in some games. Thus, I equipped a rare warrior tunic at the cost of my force shield and continue ahead with the MSQ towards finding a cave. Along the way I got a new ability called Arctic Spear, which fired an ice ball through groups of enemies, damaging them all in a line or even freezing them. However, this wasn't an ability that I used a lot, as it took a long time before firing and most mobs moved out of the way before it hit them. Then after looking around, I noticed I can even upgrade my skills and spells to make some interesting combos, even further customizing my own playstyle, which I think is a really good thing for a game such as this. After grinding ahead some more, I got a few additional levels and went back to the main hub to get rid of my full inventory, which at this point was really packing up. When I came back, I found a unique game mechanic, the hunt. Instead of just going from A to B to kill a dungeon boss, you have the option to hunt a secondary monster by investigating various clues. These usually being piles of blood, bodies, or similar options. Each clue you find gets you closer to the monster and grants various changes in the fight, such as giving the monster added poison damage, higher HP levels, or by even boosting your own player character by giving them an additional buff. These stack and can end up changing the battle for every playthrough quite significantly. Once I got all the clues, the fight began, and ended quite too fast, once again making me feel that the game is just a little bit too easy. Either that or I'm doing something wrong. Later, I admired the stunningly crafted palace interior covered in gold and an interactable world map right on the floor. Chatted with the king, got some fancy rings, and fought in a tavern to get some beers. We've all been there, right?
Now, take him down. Done toying with you.
Sometime later, I ended up in a new zone that was finally not a damp, dark cave, which was a sight for some eyes. Seeing a bit of greenery and sunlight really got the mood back up. Although I was already starting to feel a bit bored of the game, as it hadn't done anything to really challenge me or surprise me in any way. I did also find the costume tab, where if you unlocked some cool cosmetics, you could mix and match these around for some epic looking characters. You could even go bare chest if that's your thing. Playing around a bit more, I finished a random world event and finally got my first legendary weapon. This was the first in over 3 hours of playing, which strikes me a bit odd, as in other games, you get at least one legendary quite fast just to keep everyone entertained. At the end of clearing the script, I found a simple puzzle prison that held a boss locked behind an energy barrier. Tapping the 4 blobs freed him, and then we could take him out without much hassle. Once again, I find myself everything is a bit too easy. Now with the boss finally out of the way, I just could not keep myself playing the game any further. The story did not pull me in, the combat was unimpressive or even very challenging, thus I believe it's fine for me to share some thoughts on the game and end the video. Now for the things that I liked. Graphically, the game looks great, the world design is wonderful and engaging. I found myself zooming into the environment various times just so I could get a better look and admire what I see. The previously mentioned classless system is something I wish more games did. Having the freedom to make a warrior wizard or a tank mage is just appealing for me in many ways. The game is heavily story based and with sick looking cinematics to keep players engaged. If that's something you like, I believe you won't be disappointed. And finally, the game has a full customization window, letting players create custom characters or even dye their armor for added detail. Early game is boring as hell and can easily turn people away. I myself had to force myself to keep going for the sake of the video. The combat is a pain in the ass to get used to. It's slow, clunky, and not very fun compared to other ARPGs out there. Lastly, leveling up never felt like it impacted much, which led to me stacking up quite a lot of ability points before ever using them. As I was writing the ending thoughts, I also found out that the game's online mode is being shut down mid-September of 2024, and all further support for the game is ending completely. This really pissed off the community, as it seems the game was originally funded back on Kickstarter. Many people are waiting for the game to finish all the updates, finish the bug fixing, and yet now it's being killed off. Thankfully, online characters will be possible to transfer to offline mode, so not everything is lost. Now, moving on to the verdict. My verdict for the game is a solid 5 out of 10 if you don't mind playing offline, and can get the game on sale like I did for about $8. Otherwise, just play Path of Exile or similar better options in the genre, as this game really does not have anything very specific or outstanding to offer, especially when online is being killed off in just a few days. So that's it for the video. What do you think of Wolcen? Did you play it yourself or are you still planning to do so? Do you agree with my thoughts and the opinion of the game? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you plan on playing this game, feel free to use the Steam link I left in the description box for your convenience. As always, likes are appreciated and social media is down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.